Good day and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today is going to be the last part of the fleet building and the attack class ship. But before I begin with going into it, I'd like to ask everybody to please leave a like, subscribe, or comment on my videos. If you don't like the video, leave a dislike and a comment so that I know what is not to your liking. Okay, so let's continue with the building of an attack class ship. Now, attack class ships are something a little bit different compared to the previous ships that I've discussed. An attack type ship on its general isn't a glass cannon. That means all of its research isn't focused into one particular area. The thing about attack class ships, once more, are they have to be the most powerful ship you can get. That means you are going to spend more money on gaining ships all the time. So when it comes to using it, it's not good to use a destroyer. It's not good to use a frigate. So you are going to be running in with a cruiser or a battle cruiser if you've reached E7. Okay, so let's go with the lineup on what you're going to need for equipment to start with. So let's go into our market. Okay, now the fact that you are on attack class means you are going to keep only one item for long range attack. That is the missile tracking unit. So you are going to go straight away to your low slot. Let's see if okay, again, today isn't anything in the market. And I just put all of mine inside the. No, I don't think I put all. Let's see. Okay. Alright, so the first thing you're going to need is going to be your long range attack class item. That's going to be your missile tracking unit. Right, so once you put on your missile tracking unit, you're going to need to know what's the second thing you're going to need, considering your class is a little bit back. Right, so you're going to need your tracking computer, that's in. Next thing you're going to need in terms of your bottom is a shield regen and an armor regen. You will take damage in a fight. If it comes to the point where the fleet is taking hits, you are going to remain until the end of a fight. Unlike the glass cannon commander, the moment you get hit, you don't run. You start genning shield and keep putting up a fight for a little bit longer. So that's where you go different. So you're going to have a tracking computer, you're going to have shield regen, you're going to have armor regen. The reason is simple. Even though you have shield regen, it's quite possible that you're going to stick in a fight long enough for you to defeat the enemy who has the range on you, and then you're going to be playing the long range fight with another combatant. So that's why you are going to run the longest range possible. So generally, you're going to be missile commanders. For the attack class, there is also the option of using lasers and beams. Sorry. I don't know if I have a medium laser here. Got a medium pulse laser, okay. So let's see. No, this one won't work. I don't think I have a different type of medium beams. Let's see what this here is. 22 kilometers. Yeah. So that's going to be it. You're not going to be able to use the medium lasers. You're going to be able to use the medium. The medium. You're not going to be able to use the pulse laser. You're going to need to use the beam laser. The reason is you need that distance. You need that 20 to 30 kilometers so that you can fire from at nice and safe distance, as well as the fact that you need to evade once the fight gets heavy. Obviously, even if you're using these aren't the best, because when you look at a missile's range, you immediately notice that it's quite a big difference in terms of range, because the moment you look at it, it's straight up 27.95. That is the range for this missile. And obviously, if you are going to go running in with something smaller, you're not going to get the range that you need for your heavy fight. Like, here's an example why you can't use a rapid missile for that attack class. Even though you're going to get that slightly higher DPS, the chances of you taking in too much of damage are there. That is why you always play the backward defensive when it comes to this class. Okay, next thing for you to know. When it comes to research. When it comes to research. Now, once more, research in the subclass is quite like the others again. You're going to go into your technology for your ship. Max upgrading your ship is absolutely crucial to just about everybody. Navigation, you're going to not really need it unless you are running one, because you can run navigation over an armor repair. Okay, next thing is electronics. Your ship engineering, 100% you need to train this up, because if you don't have maximum, you are not going to be able to hold in the fight. No, actually, you don't need maximum on engineering, if I'm correct. This is your capacitor. Yeah, you don't need this. Sorry. So you can do this, yeah, up to like about level 3 or level 4. It gives you 3% or 4% extra. It's not really all that important, but it can help you. Electronic warfare, you don't need it. Targeting, you need it all the way, because you're going to once again try distance combat. Weapons. As I suggested, the best weapon for a tech class is missiles. We've been through the others in terms of just looking at their range. Their range is nothing near what you can get with missiles. And running the right ship with the missiles, running the right ships with missiles means you can get an even greater distance. Example: the Caracal trainer. I get about 37 kilometers on my maximum range with my missiles. Although they do much better damage on the 27-kilometer radius, I can start hitting and doing damage from the 37, 38-kilometer mark, almost 40 k's out. That is the advantage of having the bonus from the ship. Okay, now what comes next is your ship command. I'm not sure where that was, but one of these has ship command besides just your ship engineering. I think it's in the first one. Yeah, that is the one I spoke about. Okay. So once you have all of this in and you are there in the fleet, now this is where the most crucial part of the whole fleeting experience comes. This is the actual combat, down to the second. The first thing you need to do is do not engage in the forward fight. If it's your mission, you're getting in, you're getting out. You're not going to sit in the middle of the fight. You're not part of the front line just like a glass cannon commander. You are going to pull back and you are going to head back to the range of about 40 kilometers out. So the next thing that you need to push into your fleet is you're going to send your fleet in. That is your defensive commanders first to get all of the aggro or all of the targeting done onto them. Then second is going to be your debuff and your support class coming in straight in. And last of all, the most important part of your fleet coming in immediately after your debuff and support have warped off is going to be your damage commanders. They're going to come in at a range of around 40. They don't want to come in too close and they want to keep that distance when they start. They're going to open fire from a larger range and they're going to manage to keep up the fight for a lot longer. Now, when it comes to these big commanders in the back, their whole duty is to take out the ships. That means whoever is in charge of the fleet, you don't auto lock onto targets. If you auto lock onto targets, you're immediately removing that advantage of being able to place the target somewhere. The front four running debuff and defense can switch off can auto lock onto everybody. Doesn't matter, but everybody else needs to target exactly where they are told. The reason why it's not so important for the front four is they're going to be taking on whatever is right in front of them. And the commanders in the attack class are going to try and take out any commander who is running a debuff against anybody in their fleet. So that means if someone is running a Weber Fire and one of your fleet members is Weber Fired, you all have to target and take it out. And that is the whole idea behind the fleet. To make sure that you cover for the weaknesses of the weaker members in your fleet, or to help extend the time for everybody in the fleet. Because if you don't have to go and repair at the docks, you're saving on that there. You can increase the amount of ISK you're making on fleeting. And with this type of a formation, if your heavy damage dealers are doing in excess of 400 to 500 per hit, because I don't have max research on my weapons. And I can do about 260 to 360 depending on the enemy I'm against. And if you are running max research with a full damage build, you can easily do 4, maybe even 500. I'm not even sure on how far it can go. But what that means is when you are fighting in that fleet, you are going to do excess damage, you are going to hold the front line, and you are going to break through the enemy if they ever get to start fighting back. if you can hit hard enough as the damage commanders in the fleet, that's your glass cannon and your regular damage commander, you can get rid of an enemy full 3 waves in less than a minute. Because we have done it, we actually took out T7 in less than a minute, and that was with the full fleet. And then I went in with ill-prepared fleet. We didn't have anybody who could tank the hits. We had everybody in the same class as debuff and mid-range attack commanders. They tried to do damage. They ended up getting caught into the fire. They ended up losing their ships, and everybody ended up in a ton of chaos. And the other thing that this is good for is for the missions themselves. When it comes to those big missions, going in this format is definitely going to help you. And maybe even if you want to run it in a little bit of a bigger format, you can house your entire corporation in the sector for the fight, and you can local broadcast the mission. Let me just take a mission quickly. I'll show you what I mean. I'm not going to broadcast it, but I'll just show where that function is. Okay, at the bottom here you get share. No shareable bookmarks. Now, when you're in the sector and you hit this here, the bookmark will pitch up in the local chat, and everybody can walk to it. Sorry. Once that is done, you are in it for the fight, and that's how it's going to go. So, thank you for watching, and have a good day.